Speed limit reduced ahead.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Morning, morning, morning. Looks a little dreary. Seems like it's about to rain, probably. I had enough rain. I'm tired of messing with the rain. But I don't mind this real truth falling down. I don't mind when it gets cloudy and there's a lot of truth in the air. Real truth. I'm not talking about some truth or half truths or I think it's the truth. No, we need a reality check. We need what I call real truth. There are those who also may claim they speak the real. I truly doubt that. I truly do. But if that is what it is, I welcome anything or anyone who is keeping it real. As always, in the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always. Welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I'm the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media as the Mighty One, Angel Snub 7. And I am also your soul brother, number one. That is soul brother, number one. Man, I was just talking about this rain. Here we go. Really sucks. Hey, what's up there, Ollie? What up, everybody? Man, you talk about rain, you talk about water. I just came not too long ago from Texas and Oklahoma. That area, man, it's water everywhere. All kinds of roads flooded, especially in the rural areas. Man, I am tired of water. But you want to know something? One of these days, we might be wishing we had all this water. Because you never know about this planet. See, because this planet goes through seasons of extreme. And see, America is no different. Don't be shocked that we, in the very near future, suffer a severe drought. This country has not seen a severe drought since the 1930s, I believe. Matter of fact, during the Great Depression, which happened during the late 1920s, the Depression and what they call the Great Dust Bowl, it was very dry in this country. It has not suffered nothing like that in a long time. And usually what happens is that something like this will kick. Something like this will kick off. That's right, Rowan. I personally see people always talk about and they brag about how young they are. That's nice. I was young. I was 1 year old. I was 2 years old. That's nice. And you know, there's a lot of people. Well, not you know. Well, actually, you do know, because there are those who like to make mockery of older people. Oh, you old. You don't know what you're talking about. Blah blah blah. Well, guess what? I do have an advantage. I don't see a whole lot of wonderful things happening in the near future. They don't look good to me. I personally would rather be dead. But since you're old, I mean, since you're young, you got a lot of life, you can handle it. You can handle all that stuff that's getting ready to come down the pipe. I hope that you enjoy yourself because I won't be around with your young self. You handle that suffering. You handle when this country don't have any water and you run around here trying to get a glass of water. You got to drink water out of mud holes just like the pig do. You don't think that's possible. See that? See, we get so comfortable, we take things for granted. We don't think things like that is possible. We think every time we go to the sink, the water gonna come out. We always gonna have electricity. We always gonna have an indoor bathroom. Oh, we just gonna live a good life to the day we die. Now, if you are born and you die in the good life, that's good. Everybody not gonna everybody that live not going to enjoy that. Some of you, some of you are going to experience some of the worst things that have ever happened on this planet. So with your young self, enjoy your youth, enjoy that youngness, because you're going to be here for when this planet turns another direction. I want to speak about, and I've chosen the topic this morning very briefly. I want to talk about in 2 miles. Keep to the right on I-435 North. I want to talk about black people love lies. I don't know how new, because most of my audience is new. They've terminated so many of my channels. The majority of my audience is new. And you probably heard me tell this story before, but I'm going to tell it again because you probably never heard me speak about this. You're going to have to excuse me because it's rush hour around here. I have to make some moves. Speed warning. But that's right. That's right, Ollie. We hate the truth because when we speak truth, truth means that there's a responsibility. And we really don't want that responsibility. So we would rather pretend to be ignorant. I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't know. That's why they don't like truth. I'm going to tell you another reason. Because it's gotten to the point where many of us we love lies. That's the topic that I've chosen. That's the topic that I've chosen. Black people love lies. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give an example. I'm not a psychologist. I don't claim to be a psychologist. What I present is by observation. Okay, I'm not a psychologist. In fact, I don't only want to be a psychiatrist or psychologist. I'm not into that. This is by observation. When I was a little boy, I grew up poor, didn't have too much of nothing. But as a little boy, I really didn't care because I'm not materialistic. I did not care about the latest fashions. I didn't care about what my peers was wearing, and so my being poor really I didn't trip. I was very happy being poor. As long as I was not butt naked, As long as I had food, I did not trip off. I was poor. It did not, being poor really did not bother me. It really didn't. You got people, I need to get these things. Things make them happy. I had a loving family, didn't have a lot, but I was cool. I don't need, see, some of you need things. I don't need things. Cars don't make me happy. Diamonds don't make me happy. Gold, silver, big houses, mansions, the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I've never been attracted to that. Never. I was perfect. You may not, maybe I'm tripping, but actually I was perfectly happy being poor. I was happy. Hey, what's up there, Scott? So I don't know what the problem is. Now, there's nothing wrong with living decent, okay? There's nothing wrong with living decent, have a decent car, house, and thing. But I've never been obsessed with material things. I don't care. All I ever wanted in my life was good friends. Unfortunately, look, unfortunately, I've never found a good friend. All my friends, so-called friends that I ever dealt with, they lied on me, they steal from me. Even when I was in the Nation of Islam, there was good brothers in the Nation of Islam. I don't want y'all to get that twisted. It's a lot of sincere good people in the Nation of Islam. And you probably know that too. They just been brainwashed. They following this man. But I'm gonna tell you, quite honest, I never had a problem. That's right, Scott. I woke up in racism. We're not gonna have a good day. I never had a problem being poor. I just didn't. The problem, being poor is not the problem. When your poverty makes you or gets you to the point where you can't eat, you can't even wear, you can't wear any clothes. It's hard to have a shelter over your house. That's when poverty is a problem. But I don't need things to make me happy. Now, some of you might need things. You need your car, you need your house, you need to have pictures taken with the president or something to make yourself feel good or whatever. I don't need those things, okay? But let me tell you this story and let me get out of here. What's up there, D Nice? When I was a child, being raised by my mother, and contrary to popular belief, my mother was married. In fact, my mother was married. Married 2 times. She had my mother's first husband died, and my mother's second husband, they separated. So I'm not the child of single parents. I'm a child of 2-parent household. In religion, I would not be called a bastard because my mother was married when I was born. But but no, you don't know. Why I keep saying that? I hate saying that. There are those who don't like how I defend and stick up for my sisters. You was born in by a single mother. No, you woo. No, my mother was married twice. But my mother was not a happy person. My mother was not happy. She did not like her life, like many of us, many of our parents, even some of us right now. We don't like our life. We don't like how our life turned out. We don't like living in racism. We just don't. We wish we was not born here. So my mother did not smile. I never saw my mother happy a lot. It was very rare. Okay. Hey there, King Tut. Peace. Now look, as a child, I really, really hate to see my mother sad all the time. I really didn't like that. So one day, I wanted to try to get my mother. I wanted to try to get her. I wanted to see her smile. And as a child, I was a pretty good storyteller. You know, that's what they call, sometimes that's what they call lies. They say, you told a story. They call a lie a story. I was a pretty good storyteller. I was a pretty good liar. I was. And so I made up this story, and we was having dinner, or we was gathered together, and I began to tell this story to the whole family, not just my mother, but to the whole family. And they really liked this story. They really did. Everybody was laughing. We had a good time. It was really enjoyable. It was magic. But it was a lie. They thought I was telling the truth about, this story I was telling. But it was a lie. It was a lie. I just wanted to make everybody laugh, especially my mother. Now I told this lie, and I kept telling the lie because people liked the lie. Okay? Let me say that again. I kept telling the lie because everybody enjoyed the lie. It made them laugh. It sounded funny. It was good. We had a good time with this story. But it was a lie. Now check it out. It got to the point, brothers and sisters, it got to the point, as I told you, this was a lie. But it got to the point, I told the lie so much, and all of us, look, all of us enjoyed the lie so much. You want to know something? I began to believe the lie myself. Now I know it's a lie. I sat around and I made this lie up. The purpose of the lie was not to cause us harm, but to bring a little laughter to everybody, because we so down. I just wanted to make everybody smile. But it got to the point I began to believe the lie myself. It got to the point I actually thought that what I was talking about really, really happened, and it didn't. It was a lie. It was a lie. So I began to feel guilty about this, and I went to my family. We was having another gathering, and I told my family, I said, look, this story that I've been telling, it's a lie. Okay? And they called me a liar for saying that was a lie. Now they believe a lie, but when I tell the truth, they call the truth a lie. You see where I'm coming from? Y'all see where I'm going with this? We do it all the time. We love lies so much. When you hear the truth, we call the truth a lie. See where I'm going with this? We do this all the time because lies make us feel good. But after I kept telling them, look, this is a lie. I'm telling a lie. Everybody began to accept it was a lie. It was like, oh, you should be shaming yourself. Oh, that wasn't funny. You told that, told a lie. But my mother held on to the lie. And till this day, she still believes that that lie was the truth. And the reason why my mother holds on to that lie is because, like I say, many of us, our lives are miserable. Our lives are miserable. We come from a bad place in our life. This was something that make us feel good. And she didn't want to let go of the lie because, like I told you, I very rarely seen my mother smile. I very rarely seen my mother happy. And this lie, made her feel good. So this is a problem that we have with the so-called Negro, black people, African Americans. This is the problem that we have dealing with our people, is because we come from a sad place, living as descendants of slaves, being lynched, being made mockery of, being shamed. We come from a bad place. We should not be smiling, and many of us don't smile. That's why we turn to material things. We think that cars and houses and fame and praise, we're looking for happiness. We're looking for something to make us feel good. That's what it's all about. And when somebody tries to destroy what makes us happy, even though deep down in our heart we know it's a lie, we call the truth teller a liar. We don't want to believe the truth because lies make us feel happy. It makes us feel happy. So when you look at us in YouTube land or society in general, all these stories about the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites and Jesus Christ and Allah and all these different things, these things make us happy. Somebody like me becomes an enemy. I'm an enemy when I'm bringing us the truth. These things make us happy. Don't you come here and talk about Jesus. Don't you come here and talk negative about Louis Farrakhan or Umar Johnson or the Moors or all this black conscious blackity black, this blackity black stuff that we know deep down in our heart that something is wrong, but we falling in love with the lie. It makes us feel good. Don't take my don't take my don't take the little joy that I have in my life away from me. That's why they will see you and me bringing them some kind of truth as an enemy, because I don't have no joy in my life. I don't have no happiness in my life. Don't you come here and take the only positive, happy thing I got going for me in my life. Don't do that. But in order to gain true happiness, in order to gain To change your life for the better, for real, you have to, it is better to latch on to something that's real, because that which is real will make your happiness permanent and make your happiness strong. This is why these people, they are happy, but they don't really stay happy long. They still live in misery because that happiness is not real. Their condition has not changed. And a part of that is they want to depend upon these teachings. They want somebody, they want to be able to be happy, but they don't have to do any work to make themselves happy. Wait on your son to tell you some more stories to make you happy. You don't have to seek happiness for yourself. Just keep going to a Louis Farrakhan lecture, listen to Umar Johnson, read some more books by John Henry Clark. You don't have to do no work at all. You don't have to attempt to change nothing in your life. Just latch on to the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and your life would change forever. And that's what you hear. If it wasn't for the teachings, if it wasn't for such and such, but you never hear these people say what they done to help themselves. The life-giving teachings of Noble Drew Ali, the Moore Science Temple, or the I read the Bible, but you never hear what they do for themselves. So their happiness is based in somebody else's lie. Your happiness is based not only in a lie, but your happiness is based in somebody else's lie. So this is why we suffer. This is why you can't progress as a people. This is why we cannot progress as human beings, because we're dependent on another human being that is filled up with error, just as messed up as we are. We're not seeking how to heal ourselves. And you can heal yourself. You think that's impossible. But your body, physically, if you cut yourself, your body can heal. And your body can also heal mentally from any kind of mental trauma. So we as a people, we can heal not only from physical bondage, but we can heal ourselves. You can do it. I did not say that you need to go get a Bible or Quran or Umar Johnson or Tariq Nasheed or anybody outside yourself. You have the capability, you have the ability to heal yourself. That's right, Raman. See? Perfect example in the chat room. Malcolm X is a perfect example. He was inspired by the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, but Malcolm learned how to heal himself. He learned to continue on a road of self-healing. This is something that we refuse to do. We keep talking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Jesus Christ. That's the purpose of Jesus. Now, from what I know about the Bible, Jesus came to teach you how to heal yourself, to teach you how to become God yourself. He's just the example. He's the door so that you can look upon that door, so that you can find the way to yourself. He's the example of what you can be, which really, according to the scriptures, really, Jesus really isn't a real example, because since he's supposed to be the Son of God, he's half God. I mean, he sort of have an advantage. So he really wouldn't be the perfect example, because he has being half God, the Son of God, I mean, he has a he sort of has a leg up on the situation. It's about us. We're not using what the creation gave us. But see, we come from a slave. We come from a slave environment. There was no reason for a slave to use his brain. That's our problem. Massa did all our thinking for us. And that's what we have done. That's what we have done. We keep looking for a massa. That's what we have done. We don't have the white man, well, some of us do. We don't have the racist pink as a massa no more. So what we done, our preacher is our massa, Farrakhan, Umar Johnson. We got to find a massa to do our thinking for us. We have to find a massa to base our thinking on. You should be capable of thinking for yourself. Now, if you and me, we're thinking for ourselves, but we come to the same conclusion, that's different. You're not following me, I'm not following you. We're doing our own thing, we just come to the same conclusion. But that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening with us. We are being sold ideas, we're being sold beliefs, whether those beliefs are in 2019 or those beliefs go back 5,000 years ago. We are sold these beliefs and somebody else is doing our thinking for us. We are repeating what we heard, what we read with somebody else. Like these damn people special. You really think Jesus is special? You think Muhammad is special? Farrakhan, Umar Johnson, and whoever else out there that y'all like. You think these people special? They are nothing but men, just like you. There's nothing special about them. You are the one that make them special. They make mistakes, they take a dump, and they're gonna die just like anybody else. They can learn from you. You think that they are above learning from you or me. And see, that's their problem. That's their problem. They think they are above learning from others because they're so divine, they're so smart. That's where they make their mistake. They're arrogant, and you follow people like this. And you wonder why you can't progress. You wonder why you're not going nowhere. Why you stuck. Just like my brother Dope Coke One say, you so smart, you so divine, you so intelligent. All these pro-black, blackity black, I'm so black folks, they have not even replicated what our ancestors done straight out of slavery. They have not even replicated that. But they so smart, they're so divine. You need to get out of slavery. Stop being of course you don't want to be a slave to the racists anymore, and you don't want to be oppressed by them. But I don't want to be oppressed and a slave to a nigger either, because that's what you have. A bunch of dark-skinned people who still have the minds of their slave master. You take the black out of what they're talking about. If you take the black out of what they're talking about and you replace it with white, it's the same thing. Pro-black, first black, unapologetically black, I'm an African, love Africa. If you take all that stuff out of the equation and put white, They are no different and sound just the same as these damn cracker races. The same thing. There's no different. I don't see any different. And you're not getting any different result either. So we become a lover of lies. Lies make us feel good. And as long as you believe in a lie, you're not going to go nowhere. If you don't embrace reality, if you don't really understand the situation that you're in, you're going to stay that way. And like I say earlier, as an old person, I'll be glad to be dead and gone. Because y'all young folks, at the rate that you're going, you don't have no future. You don't have no good future. It's not looking good for you. And you refuse to accept reality. You refuse to take any action because the only thing on your mind is who you're going to screw, the weed you're going to smoke, watching YouTube videos all day long. You're not going to take any real action to protect yourself from something that might happen. You know, it might not happen. The thing about it is, what if it do? What if we do suffer a drought in the next few years? You can't get a cup of water. Do you know how to find water? Do you know where the rivers are, the lakes, the ponds? You have no idea. Do you know how to live in the forest? Do you know what kind of animals that you can eat, plants that you can eat? You don't know how to do nothing. The only thing you know how to do is die. And maybe that's a good thing. Because nature does not support the weak. Nature only supports the strong. Nature only supports the smart. Nature causes that which cannot adapt to the situation, causes it to go extinct. So maybe that's a good thing. I won't be here. I wish y'all the best of luck. But as long as you are a lover of lies, it's a guarantee that something bad down the line is going to happen to you. I did all I can do. I come on here and I try to talk to you. I come on here and try to get y'all to actually take action, take some steps in order to help yourself, not only just for the present, but for you in the future and our future generations. But you don't like to hear me talk. But if you don't take action, if you don't apply what I'm saying, then okay, it's on you. Like I say, I'll probably be dead. Yes, I do, Brother Andre. I do. I do. I agree with a lot of the things that Nature Boy and King Noble says. Yes, I do. And what I like about King Noble, as long as I YouTube, King Noble is the only one that act like he wasn't scared of me. He's the only one that I really could talk to, and I had a decent dialogue. All these other suckers, I don't know. I'm not gonna bite you, but see, reality hurts some of these people so much. They don't want to stand next to me because their lies, the things that they talk about, won't stand too long, make them look bad, because they know I got to question their teaching. King Noble never had a problem. But yeah, I do. See, it does have a lot to do with going back. We have to come back into nature. I truly feel as though we can keep